Hi everyone, happy Sunday. I thought I would just check in and I made a few pieces of content today that were all over the place. There's just so much to cover, like from minute to minute I'm having thoughts about this and then I'm like, oh, there's a squirrel. And we're about to be having a very big week, probably the biggest week of the year astrologically. If you don't know anything about astrology or know much about it, I strongly suggest you check out Pam Gregory's 2-part video series on her website, which I'll link below or above, as well as the Peace Dealer. He's an incredible astrologer and has his own app, as well as playlists on YouTube which take you through all the different planets, all the different houses and stuff like that. I'm trying to make my way through it all because I've only done an introductory course about 4 years ago, and the rest of the time I've spent sort of I just get it and I just understand it. But I would say I'm a beginner to intermediate. I'm not a certified astrologer. So I'm just going to talk about the energy and the resonance and the space weather and the frequency and the freakiness of the frequencies that we had this week just gone. Somebody that I really would love to recommend is Denise Dryden. Every Sunday night she does a check-in and sort of just paves the way of like, this is what I experienced this week, this is what's coming in, and here are some tips. So I'll link her below as well or above. I'm new at this, just trying to grow my channel as I'm a light being who has had a lot of awakening experiences in the last 12 months since my father died in January. And I think in my intro video for the channel I explain this, but the way I'm structuring my content is sort of ad hoc and just like, here's me doing yoga, here's me talking to a squirrel, here's a couple of tarot cards. Do you like crystals? Here are some crystals. Like, I'm just trying to find my tribe, find my people that are a bit kooky, maybe a bit neurodivergent like me, maybe a bit have been told by doctors that they have fibromyalgia, which today I found out it's just a word. It's just a word. Pain is a word. I mean, it's a feeling. It's quite controversial what I'm saying, but what it came from was finding, I just typed into Google, YouTube, here's how I cured my fibromyalgia, because I had a tarot reader tell me about a year ago that, and he was quite savvy with astrology as well. I recommend him, Gareth Hudson. He's from Yorkshire, but he, I think, was living in Tibet at the time. He's a yogi, got the yogi vibes of him. Really into his Norse mythology as well, which is part of my lineage as a half Scottish woman living in Scotland. So had a really incredible reading with him, and I keep getting shaman, which led me on this spiritual path to, I don't think you can really study to be a shaman. It's more studying history, archetypes, doing the shadow work, coming to your own conclusion, being in touch with nature, being in touch with the planets, figuring out how to heal and release and let go of your wounding, whether it be current lifetime woundings or ancestral trauma. And then once you have those tools, I think the word shaman, I should probably look it up in the dictionary and see what it means, like in that sense. But what it means to me is somebody that can heal you with advice. And I don't want the label of, I'm a shaman. Like, I'm not one of those fake gurus out there that wants your money. I just want to help people and heal people. That's my purpose as a light worker. I like light worker more because I'm taking my time out of my day when I have loads of creative projects I want to be working on. I'm an artist, I'm a musician. I want to like make solfeggio frequencies that are integrated into ambient guitar music. I want to make art that's got sacred geometry in it, that's affordable for people so they can start to go, why do I like that shape so much? What does it all mean? And then that might lead them down the wormhole of quantum physics. You know, all of these different things interest me. So I find my energy quite scattered in studying these different subjects. And back to being on track, I came across a website, a channel, a brilliant guy. He's not super spiritual, but kind of is. Like if you go to Carl Jung and the subconscious mind, the subconscious holds everything. We can change our subconscious. We can train our brain. We can neuroplasticity. I mean, there are loads of people on the internet that know far more about this than me. But I'd heard that you could rewire your brain about pain and just think about it differently. But I have had some injuries and I have done a lot of heavy lifting in my days as a DJ who played with vinyl. I was a roadie. I've moved house 27 times. And all of the medical professionals just said, you have osteoarthritis. It's not going to get better. It's only going to get worse no matter what you do. Here, take some drugs. Big pharma. And I just kind of, due to some other life events, I did get into victim mentality for quite a while, but I've always been a spiritual person who's tried to still do my yoga every day, even if it hurts. I'll just do it gently, and I'll still try and meditate to get to sleep because I have anxiety. But what this guy, what's his name? Dan Buglio from Pain Free You, enlightened me with. He's just a nice, chill, middle-aged dude from America with nature in the background, and he's like, pain is perceived, your brain is firing off signals telling your body that there's danger. Fibromyalgia and other, there's other acronyms of other types of weird pain syndromes that can't be explained by doctors, and doctors will just give you drugs or tell you you're crazy. It's either trauma stored in the body or it's the subconscious panicking. It's anxiety, basically, and the body going, uh-oh, you have to get up and have a shower. You're used to that being painful, so we're going to make it so that it's really painful for you to get out of bed, so you're not going to feel like getting out of bed this morning. Stuff like that. Like, he gives such great examples. He suffered from hectic back pain for 10 years. So, and he's got over 100 success stories, and it's free. This is the kind of thing. This is the kind of new human sort of a collective consciousness type of thing that we want to do. It doesn't have to all be like butterflies and rainbows and quantum physics and planets and solar flares. It can just be a simple, kind human saying, here's how to rewire your brain. It's quite simple. You just journal, you breathe, meditation can help. But he's making it very vanilla, I guess I'd say, like quite normy, so it's accessible to anyone, especially blokes. Because I know that men find it hard to show their vulnerability. So well done to him for creating that channel and that system. He does have like a coaching community that you can join, but he's really like, I'm not trying to sell you anything. I love you and I want you to heal. And I was like, that's so beautiful. I was really moved by that. Watched a few of his videos, started to think and say and get excited and go, I'm going to be pain free. I can be pain free. The night before, when I first discovered him, yesterday, I had woken up and I had this really bad hip and lower back pain, and I was like, oh, that's the emotions of trauma stored in my body. How do I get it out? And I watched a few of his videos and was like, I'm safe. I did some havening and I was like, I'm safe. My body's okay. I'm not in any danger. I'm going to go back to sleep. And when I wake up from my little nana nap, so I slept for an extra hour, my hip and back pain is going to be at least 50% better. I just said that out loud. I said it a few times. I repeated it because I believe in word magic. And I woke up an hour later and the pain was completely gone. I kid you not. No word of a lie. And I was like, wow, my body felt safe. There's other things, like, I don't want to go on about pain too much, but I know that we all suffer it to different degrees, whether it's period pain or moving house pain or, you know, cutting your finger in the kitchen pain. It is there to protect you. It's your body saying, whoa, something's wrong with your body. Shit, you better sort that out. But if we're used to being in pain all the time, our nervous system and our little amygdala and transmitters, and I don't know all the jargon, but they're constantly like, well, you're used to being in pain, so you're going to be in pain now. And you're thinking about this traumatic memory about this person, so we're going to make your hips hurt now, because that's usually because because you're smart and you know stuff about chakra systems. We know that the sacral center holds a lot of emotion. And I just like fully figured it out. I felt like it was the hugest eureka moment. So that was the start of my day. That was yesterday. Then today, I watched some more of his videos, was listening to his advice. I was like, oh no, the hip pain's back. There must have been a geomagnetic storm. Looked at the space weather, pretty stable. And I was like, Schumann resonance. Like I do all these things to try and go, what's sparked at this time? Because often the flares, fibromyalgia flares, they call them, they just come out of nowhere, and all of a sudden you're like, I can't get out of bed, or I can't sit cross-legged without a burning sensation in my hips. So I listened to him some more, and I wrote down some of the things he was saying. And I did this quiz, a perceived danger self-assessment, 11 mistakes that keep your pain and other symptoms stuck. Ran myself an Epsom salt bath. Did some Reiki on myself because I've just done my Reiki 1 training. And when I got out of the bath, I was in a fabulous mood. I can't say the pain was completely gone. I still felt a bit stiff, but I was like, I'm okay. I'm okay. So, saying out loud, I'm okay. There's also other methods on his playlist that I will also link just up here, because the description box is going to get too long. Of just ways that you can trick the brain into thinking or knowing that you're safe from danger. So your body's not going to clench up and go, pain, 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 pain. Here's where you usually feel the pain, because something in your subconscious thinks you're in danger, and you're used to feeling pain when you go for a walk, and you're used to doing pain when you bend over. He uses that as an example because that's how he got his injury, was just bending over to get his underwear in the morning. Bang, he was in chronic pain for 10 years. And I just thought, wow. And that really spoke to Scorpio season, and being able to admit to myself that maybe I was holding on to that pain, and maybe the whole victim mentality thing. I was like, I'm never going to be a victim. Like, I'm not going to be defined by my condition, but I have let it limit me somewhat because it has been so severe. And now I'm like, I want to set myself free, and I am going to, and I am doing it, and it's happening, and I'm going to show you how. And back to the Yorkshire Tarot reader. I love going on a segue, don't I? Gareth Hudson, he said to me, there are 2 paths for you, the yogi or the shaman. And I said, yeah, well, I'd like to do yoga teacher training, but I've got fibromyalgia and chronic pain. And he went, you can cure that in 18 months, I guarantee it. A year to 18 months. I said, how? He said, parasite cleanse, heavy metals cleanse, liver cleanse, do it in this order. There are other things, Joe Dispenza, blah, blah, blah. And I wrote it all down. I sort of saw a homeopath, did a parasite cleanse. Did I do a heavy metals cleanse? I don't think so. Couldn't afford it. Like, I was going to get zeolite, and then, got distracted and other things were happening. So to come full circle and to have explored a brilliant woman who I found in a really beautiful way, which is another story, I think, because the video is at 15 minutes. Celtic shamanism. I started shamanic journeying on my own without any plant medicines, just having these meditative, dreamlike visualizations. And let's just say it's starting to all become clear what my path is. And it's one, to teach other people how to heal themselves, mind, body, soul. I'm in it now, so I'm not, and I think it's ongoing. It's not like you get a degree in healing your mind, body and soul, then you're finished, graduated, and off you go. It's more like it's ongoing. The best time to share the stories and the epiphanies and the breakthroughs and the dark points as well is while you're in it. So I did do a short this morning with me looking like Alice Cooper because I was crying in a meditation, another meditation I did. I'm like full-time, like shadow work, let's sort it out, let's heal so we can heal the world. Because one thing I'm aware of is we are all being, our DNA is being recoded by light and plasma, and some people's awakening journey is going to be slower than others. So there needs to be a good chunk of people. I'm just looking for my charger. My cat's interfering. She's getting a bit shocked here. Yeah, there's going to be a bunch of really lost people, lost souls that are like either don't want to wake up or are skeptical, which is fair enough. But this is, as Denise Dryden said with her wonderful check-in tonight, it's biomechanical, it's metaphysical, it's Stefan Burns, who is an absolute legend. I've mentioned him on nearly every video. He talks about, he's a geophysicist. He's not just like some hippie going, yeah, man, like, let's all be trippers. Or just, there's such a, I guess you'd call it a division between the normies, or the muggles, as some call them, and the people that are a bit alternative in their way of thinking. And I think a lot of people are going to just get pushed into, like, the way that yoga became popular and meditation and mindfulness. Like, that's okay. Start talking about tarot cards and planets and space weather. People sort of eyebrows get a bit raised and they get a bit... But we need to not give a flying fudge about that, because unless it is going to affect our career in a job that we need to feed our family. I'm trying to be diplomatic here, but Scorpio season's about being authentic, and I'm trying to explain a really long-winded roundabout way what I'm discovering through following my intuition and my higher calling is to spread love and light through my music, my art, my conversation, and now my spiritual gifts, which are starting to turn on. I've never been clairvoyant. I've never been psychic. I've always had a bit of a I bet you I'm going to see this person. And I go down the street, I see the person. Little stuff like that. I've heard whispers from friends, dead people. I'm starting to switch on, and all of the astrologers, Heather Emsworth, Pam Gregory, really highly respected, well-educated people who are great guardians of light, and I call them astrology ambassadors, have all been saying that this is going to be happening. We're all going to be waking up and all these things are going to be switching on. And my guitar student, who's 17 years of age, even said to me, "Can you be my spiritual guru?" I was like, "What do you mean? I'm your guitar teacher." And she's like, "Yeah, but you like planets and stuff." And I was like, Thank you, universe. Like, that was the universe saying, you're meant to lead people to... And she could see my aura. She's seen ghosts. She's totally clairvoyant, but she doesn't have the attention span to do the study and the reading and go to the right sources and all of that. So I try and be really diplomatic and just go, well, we're focusing on guitar today, but I can give you some names of people that might be good for you to read, and I can tell you what's happening in the planetary moon, like, oh, it's a new moon soon or whatever. That's all I can do. I'm not gonna be prescriptive because it's, and I've spoken to her parents about it to make sure it's all above board. Is it okay if I speak about astrology with her in case they're religious? You know, there's this kind of treading carefully, but I feel like that's all starting to fall away because it's getting to the point where it's like too many people are going to be like, help, and there needs to be trusted leaders and guides around who can just be like, yep, I went through that, yep, I've been keeping this one in my pocket, here's my directory, explore whatever subjects on the playlist tab you like. You might just want to do how to get rid of pain in your body and look at some of my yoga playlist. You might want to delve into cosmic consciousness conversations with some really intelligent, qualified people that are really mind expanding. You might want to look at philosophy. You might want to look at numerology. You might want to just look at, you know, popcorn sort of watching tarot readers do tarot scopes. I used to do a lot of that because at the end of the day, it's all psychology, and it's all, the cards are a tool, and it's your intuition that's resonating with the message or not that the reader is saying. So it's, you know, I think whatever stigma or witch wound is attached to it, it's like going to a shrink, and each paragraph or question that they ask you or thing that they prod is a tarot card, and then you go, no, that doesn't resonate, or yes, that's probably true. A tarot reader is ultimately a therapist and a life coach. It's just that it's got that witchy, esoteric sheen to it that scares a lot of people off, and they think, oh, they're going to get out the Ouija board and they're going to summon the people and it's all Satan and oh dear. No, it's actually a tool for light, enlightenment, emphasis on light. But in saying that, there is a yin and a yang. There is darkness. You have to go into the darkness to find the light, which is what Scorpio season's all about. And the grand water trine. We have so many planets going backwards right now, which is making us revise, review, reconnect with parts of ourselves that were maybe buried or hidden, and really see the truth of who we are and share it boldly with no shame, no what is everyone going to think. Just be you, be true. That's my slogan. And I've lived a life where I have been a people pleaser. I've had a savior complex. I've had a generalized anxiety disorder. You know, I've had all these things that have made me small, and my pain. But gradually I've started to let go of these things and go, no, I'm this. I'm an advisor for the people. And you can take my advice, or you cannot take it. Or you can tell me I'm mad. I don't mind, because my ego, there's healthy ego and there's not healthy ego. You can't kill the ego. The ego needs to be there for our survival, but I don't rely on external validation, and I'm not starting this YouTube channel to get more followers so people like me, so I feel good about myself. I really just want to help as many people as possible. And the consequences of me saying some outlandish things and having people go comment crazy, and I think I'm tough enough now to just be like, oh, well, that's their stuff. That's not my stuff. So I'm ready to share what has helped me. I hope it can help you. I just felt I needed to make a bit more of a cohesive video. I don't know if I've succeeded in that. Please let me know in the comments. And I did want to pull some cards for the week ahead because we do have a very big feeling of finality going on with the 29 degrees of Pisces, which is the end of the astrological wheel. And do I have any notes on that? Usually I take notes, but it's in another book, and I feel like that's cheating because this is trying to be stream of consciousness. My stream of consciousness is very fast though because I have a stellium in Gemini, so it's like so keeping it like on track's really hard. This is something that I've written down that needs to be repeated, and I don't know where I got it from. Probably Pam Gregory or someone. Cognitive sovereignty. So being a sovereign being and deciding to have control over what your brain absorbs. Like, don't just absorb what's on the news or just whatever any tarot reader who says they're a CEO or they have a PhD. You know, really compare your sources. You'll find that a lot of the people that I follow, they're all friends with each other and they all interview each other and they're all connected because they all have the same frequency and resonance and mission. And it's like we're creating this beautiful web of light. Love that analogy. I think that came from Pam Gregory. To sort of catch people like a net who are falling and going, I don't know. Because the world's in an awful place right now, let's face it. But how we heal ourselves is how we heal the world. So it's our responsibility as humans, as sovereign beings, to heal ourselves, to do the inner work, which is tricky, so that we can be the best version of ourselves, drop our ego, show love, show compassion, get out in nature. I mean, I'm not going to repeat all the things that are on all the people on my playlist, but you'll see they all say the same things and they all work and they're all true. They're principles of living a authentic, grounded, spiritual life. Like, there are things you do. Water is one of the biggest ones because we're made of water. We're like big, I was saying to my friend last night, we're like walking around like big bottles of salty water. And when the solar flares and all this geomagnetic storm activity like what we had this week happened, just check out Stefan Burns and that'll get you up to date with that. It kind of rattled us. And so we're like, I feel nauseous. I feel like I'm on a roller coaster. Or I feel dizzy. I don't know where my keys are. Or I need a nap. Or I feel really pumped and I've got all these ideas. And then all of a sudden, zap. As soon as that happens, I look up the Schumann resonance. I look up space weather. I'm like, oh, we've just had an X-class flare. Like, you know. And it always correlates. Like, I'm not making it up. So I'm trying to lead by example. I'm trying to keep this semi-loose, casual, real, raw, and trying to use a sense of humor, but it is a kind of serious mission that I've decided to take on and that lots of other people are taking on. It's seriously important, but you do need to be lighthearted about it because it's bonkers. Like when you start to make all the connections with the astrology, the energies, synchronicities, sacred geometry, the quantum physics, the history, the archetypes, the tarot, the different religions that kind of dominated and took all the history away from like the Mayans and all the other things. And then you join together all the dots. You're like, it's all the same thing. It's all one. We're all one, which is why I call my channel All in One. So Pam Gregory has this thing called a pamble. Well, that was a bamble, which is a body ramble. Main thing about this upcoming week is the new moon in Scorpio on the 20th. Check for your time zone. I always just Google what time's it going to be in Scotland. It's going to be a big one. Who was it? Molly McCord was saying, look at where 29 degrees of Pisces falls in your chart, which house. I have this amazing wheel. It's a cheat sheet because I'm just, an amateur. So for me, it's my career, long-term goals, structure, status, reputation, public image, masculinity, men, fathers, experts, and fame. My father died this year, which kind of set me on the trajectory of this whole spiritual journey, because one of the last things he gave me before he went, and he was not a massively spiritual man, not outwardly anyway, but judging by the books that he owned secretly. So, he had the I Ching. I got his books, and I'm like, you had it all figured out, didn't you, Dad? But he gave me this book. He used to always talk about, tarot and, give me the heebie-jeebies, quite, what will the neighbours think? Bless his heart. He's still with me. He gave me a deck of tarot cards, and I was like, Dad? He's like, well, you're into that stuff, here you go. And it was Celtic shamanism, the deck. And I was like, he's not just got this from an op shop and thought, oh, she don't like that. He's actually gone to trouble to find one that's about my ancestral roots, talks about my lineage. I've got massive spirit chills right now. Can you see the goosebumps? Thanks, Dad. Love the deck. Still getting through the literature because it's quite dense. But yeah, that's all been part of my path. I've just looked at things that have made me go and gone, hold on, I've got all these tarot decks that I like to use that are my favorites, and then I've got this one from Dad that I'm a bit scared of because it's kind of dense and deep and different. And I've done a few readings with it, but I always get really emotional. I might do one tonight, actually. But it's got a different system and different piles, because they have the system, instead of the chakra system, they have the 3 cauldrons. And yeah, then you look at paganism, and it's just so much to learn, people. So I'm going to be interviewing different people that are experts in their field. I've got a friend who's really knowledgeable about paganism and Norse mythology, and also just foraging and plants. She's also a brilliant artist. I've got another friend who's a human design expert. She's fabulous. You can follow her at Natural Flow Alchemy. I've got another friend who is a Reiki teacher, an EFT tapping specialist. That's another way of rewiring the brain. It's just saying words like, I am safe. Even though I have all this pain, I know that I love, honor, and complete myself. That's all EFT is. It's not like mind reading and spooky ooky. So everyone needs to drop the fear and drop the judgment about all of these tools, because they're actually there and have been there for millennia, some of them. I could be exaggerating there a bit, but very long time. There are rock carvings about this stuff, and people have civilizations have tried to preserve this. This is how you survive, and there's always light coming out of the crown and from above, and roots going down to the earth. We are the trees, we're the birds, we're the cats, we're the dogs, we're all one. I just feel like we've forgotten because of TV, because of consumerism, because of marketing, because of capitalism, because of Saturn. I'm going to blame Saturn. My dad was a Capricorn, but when he died just after the big major thingamajiggerets that happened at the end of last year, I forget how to articulate it. But anyway, I was like, well, you're leaving at a good time, Dad, because it's going to be very different. Which, not to say that I feel good about him going, but it was his time to go, and I've accepted that now. And that was a huge thing to go through. But I kind of took it head on. I went, if I could avoid this and push it down, or I could face it head on. And I was like, yes, let's, And it never goes away, grief. But if you can get it's like with the deepest dark comes the highest light peak. As above, so below, as within, so without. Everything's got its polarity. So through feeling that much sadness and grief and confusion and how much baggage come up, and then be like, I've got to work through all my relationships with men and why I have this dynamic that keeps coming up, which probably comes from my dad, and then have therapy about it, and then I've got body pain and why is that there, and figuring it all out. Us as a humanity need to all do this work so that we can be compassionate, kind, helpful communities that band together to help one another. Because God knows what's going to happen next. And I'm not religious when I say God. God is in all of us. We are all our own sovereign God self. Not to say I'm God, but not in an egoic way, like we're all masters of our own universe and reality, and we're all co-creating with the universe. It is us. I'm starting to sound like a preacher. That's the ego. Look at it there with the inner critic coming up. So you get better at just being present, observing your thoughts, observing your emotions, and rather than reacting, judging, labeling, pause. What's happening here? Get curious, journal about it, then respond. Transmute it if you can. Make a song about it. Make a YouTube video about it. People need this content. People need a real human talking about their honest journey and their story in a down-to-earth, friendly way, I hope. That's relatable, with someone that they can look at and go, oh, she looks kind of like me, and yeah, she's got an accent that's from Australia but she lives in Scotland. Oh cool, yeah, right. So she's traveled a bit, all the people that I follow, like, they might be from completely different walks of life, but like there are some that are super cool that I'm like, I want to be friends with her, she's awesome. Like, I just want to give her a hug, and that's the beauty of technology and social media, I guess, is it gives us reach to find our tribe where we can't find it when we're living in a small town in Scotland. We've got to go online and we've got to look for the things that we're interested in, that we're researching, that we're having existential crises about, and slowly figuring it out and joining the dots and going, I'll go down this road. Oh no, that person's a con artist that just wants me to do their retreat. That's $850,000. I'm exaggerating, but you know what I mean. And then there's spiritual bypassing, which is like, let's not do the work. Love and light. I love yoga. I like forests. I ain't that person. I'm going to get quite dark, and I'm going to get quite humorous. It's going to be like black comedy, spirituality chats. I'll keep it light as I can, but I'm going to keep it real. And I think with AI and, with so many these videos that come up where it's Anthony Hopkins or David Attenborough or Morgan Freeman, those wise people that you love their voice, and it's them like saying Carl Jung quotes and like a bunch of images. And you start to listen and realize this isn't real. Brene Brown, it happened with her too. I was following this channel for ages. It wasn't even her. It was a robot who had clipped up her quotes and interviews and was just spitting it out to get follows and algorithms. And I'm a real human. This is an AI-free zone. Nothing against AI, but I think there is a danger with it that it will force a lot of people to lose their sense of cognitive sovereignty, owning your thoughts. But there is a way out. Not a way out, a way in. The way out is the way in. And I'm going to end it there. The way out is the way in. I like that. Did someone else say that? It's in my subconscious anyway. Sorry if I stole it from someone. I'll try and credit everyone. I just think it's probably better if I just give a ramble about everything I've learnt this week, each week, rather than being like, here's the thing about this and here's the thing about and then you, like, nobody has engaged with any of my playlists. Yes, I only have like 10 followers or something, but it's not about followers for me. It's about, like, engage with the content. The information is there. I've curated it for you so that it's easy to find the stuff that works. Yeah, it's really not about the followers. It's just like, spread the word, because it took me ages to find the right people that resonated for me. And that's not to say they'll resonate for you, but you'll find your own little spiritual community, or like-minded people with chronic pain that want to heal community. Some people don't want to heal. They're actually attached to their trauma and their pain, and they just would like to cling onto it for dear life because it makes them feel safe. Even though it hurts, they get stuck, and it's sad. Moving on, though. Moving on up. I already did a quick little Black Moon Lilith today already, actually. I just didn't do the the meaning. So how about I just do that? We got Black Moon Lilith in Cancer, and I was like, yay, let's just stay at home. But I really wanted to go out for a walk, so I did. We also got Aquarius. I believe I already shuffled this deck because I was like, well, that was that. Virgo. So we got Virgo, which my South Node's in. So I'm having a nodal return. Google that. Can't explain it in enough time. So every 18 years, yeah, every 18 or so years, the North and South Node of the current astrology lines up with where it was when you were born. And I'm having my second nodal return. And so my South Node's in Virgo and my North Node's in Pisces. And that's one of the cards we pulled, was Virgo. And I'm just making small talk while I find the third card, which I'll know when I see it. This is such a beautiful deck, by the way. It's a Black Moon Lilith deck. I strongly identify with that archetype. I had a similar experience to Black Moon Lilith. I got kicked out of the Garden of Eden. I was with a guy called Adam and everything. Aquarius! Yeah! The age of Aquarius. So, what a beautiful deck, guys. Sorry, I'm not going to unapologetically Bonnie. If you don't like my channel, it's fine. I don't mind. Just stop watching or unsubscribe, whatever. Just do you. Be you, be true. We have Black Moon Lilith in Cancer. Honor your emotions. So this is what happened to me today. Crying in the bath. But I honored it. I was like, I'm feeling watery. There's a grand water trine. I'm going to have a bath in water, and then I'm going to cry some more water out of my face. And it was great. And then I did another meditation with David Clements, which I may have mentioned in another post, but just in case you're only watching this video and then you're like, I'm never watching this bitch again because she talks too much. David Clement, check him out. He's on Patreon, but he's not on YouTube. Pam Gregory has interviewed him several times though, and their conversations are divine. Just so beautiful. Okay, so Black Moon Lilith in Cancer. Honor your emotions. The universe wants you to know that your emotions are valid. This is your time to heal and honor them. Spirit chills going up and down the arms and spine. When this oracle card comes to you, the cosmos is asking you to stop neglecting your own emotions for the sake of others. Massive spirit chills. Home is your sanctuary, where you should feel safe. It's just exactly what I was saying. It's time to review and clear what is not aligned in your home life and emotional world. I'm getting emotional, see? It's the water trine. I'm happy, I'm fine. Symbolized by the crab, the zodiac sign of Cancer is an emotional water sign ruled by Mother Moon. When Black Moon Lilith is here, the mother is a main character in your life. She may have projected her emotions onto you, making you responsible for soothing and neglecting yourself. Or your mother may have been a dominant force in the family, normalizing emotional strength and matriarchy. Yeah. I think we've all seen a bit of both of that. I mean, the whole mother archetype. Mothers just should be worshipped and given awards, what they do. I have friends that are mothers. My mother is incredible. What a pillar of strength and just stoicism and integrity. Yes, mothers. To all the mothers out there. Diana, Princess of Wales, had Black Moon, Lilith in Cancer in her relationship house, and consequently a turbulent life with the royal family. Didn't know that. Both your thoughts and emotions make up your energetic frequency. Emotions are a barometer for what is aligned for you and what is not. If something does not feel right, make a decision using your intuition. What were we talking about, people? What were we talking about? Dark, divine, feminine, shadow work. Traditions exist only because one person started them. Sometimes being the catalyst for change isn't the most comfortable, but you are bringing healing to your family line, and I just got a massive spirit chill front and back. This is why I'm doing this. Wow. Visualize sending love to your child self, which is exactly what I did in the meditation with David Clements. See, that's a synchronicity right there, and I haven't read this card before pulling it out because I was like, I'm over the 3 minutes, and I just shuffled the cards back into the deck. Example, case in point, dark, divine, masculine, shadow work. So I'm quite a masculine astrologically. So let's read that. Your mother is the first relationship you have with a woman. Taking the time to understand your dynamic with her can unlock any blocks you are experiencing with the divine feminine. My mum's tough. That might be why I have trouble getting into my watery depths. She's tough, but she's tender. So am I. Anyway, something to introspect on. Home is your sanctuary and comfort zone. Create the nurturing environment you deserve. So great time for, I know this word gets used a lot, purging, releasing, getting rid of that clutter in the cupboard. I'm about to just sell a bunch of clothes that just aren't me anymore. They're an old version of me that I want to buy like organic cotton and merino and cashmere, secondhand, of course. Don't have that kind of budget, but it's like recently I was shown a snapshot of my old life through visitation of an old friend who I absolutely adore, and it kind of made me see how I've changed and how I can't fill the boots of that persona anymore. I'm actually quite different. I've always been the same at the core, but like it's like different wrapping paper, or there's no wrapping paper anymore. There's no costume. There's no, I love dressing up though. I do love dressing up. I dressed up as Frida Kahlo for the Day of the Dead thingy, and now this whole Frida Kahlo group wants me to join, and they're all artists, and I'm like, yay! So there's that. Tangent. Example. Neurodivergent. Quadruple stellium in Gemini. Sorry, not sorry. Okay, we also have Black Moon Lilith in Aquarius, because it's the dawning of the age of Aquarius, don't you know? Honor your individuality. So that's, again, what I was just talking about, of like, do you know what? You might sound like a bit of a weirdo. Is that an 11? I'm getting so many 11s. It is my life path numerology, and I met an amazing spiritual goddess in Spain who is also an 11. And she was like, we are masters. And I was like, we are. So, again, segues are just going to happen with me. I hope you're still with me. If you're not, it's totally fine. I'm an open book, but I'm also going to stop judging myself and just be. Honor your individuality. It's time to let your flag fly for the world to see. I swear I didn't read this before I that's okay. Thanks, Spirit. When Black Moon Lilith in Aquarius shows up in a reading, and I haven't like read all the cards in this deck. It's relatively new. Look how shiny it is. Anyway, it's encouraging you to embrace what makes you unique. It will require you to be brave and unapologetic. Are we getting this, guys? True friends and aligned souls will accept you for who you are. Black Moon Lilith in Aquarius represents revolution and rebellion against the status quo. Aquarius is a fixed air sign symbolized by the water bearer who pours ascended knowledge out to the collective. Structured Saturn and eccentric Uranus, other planet, and Uranus is in Taurus till March, I think. Side note, I'm a Taurus rising, so I'm always like Uranus, and then it's opposing Scorpio, so it's the opposite, yeah. If you don't know astrology, you'll just be like, jargon. When the Black Moon Lilith is in this innovative sign, you can expect radical points of view transcending societal expectations. Rosa Parks, a notable Black Moon Lilith in Aquarius, was arrested after she refused to give up her bus seat to a white man in 1955. Good for her. Sparking the Montgomery bus boycott and fueling the civil rights movement. Fabulous time to be doing this kind of work. Black Moon Lilith in Aquarius can also experience feelings of being the black sheep in the early life. If your ancestry or childhood, this natural desire for liberation from the collective could have been shunned. Your march to the beat of your own drummer. I'm a musician. Someone else said that today in a thing, and I was like, yeah, the drum. I miss playing with a drummer. It's really like to have a beat behind you. It's like, yeah. Anyway, I can't play drums very well. Only shamanic ones. I don't have one yet. Anyway, I digress. It's about accepting yourself, quirks and all. I'm weird, and I'm not going to change for anyone. So either accept my crazy or move on. Once you do this, those who appreciate you will find your message incredibly healing and uplifting. I hope so. I'm just trying to do the best for the collective, because that's not for any reward other than knowing I'm fulfilling my soul's purpose. It's a pretty good reward. Just knowing, like, I could have no money. I used to be so material, like so worried about money in the bank, and now I'm like, I'm so rich with knowledge and understanding about my psyche, about my body, about frequency. That's it. That's what's important, people. Money is going to be a thing of the past. Anyway, dark, divine, masculine shadow work. You attract one-of-a-kind people into your life who reflect the unique qualities you desire. It's meeting that lovely Spanish woman. Shout out to Carlita Aquarius. Learn from them and integrate what you admire instead of wanting to conform to the rest of society. Yeah, no more sheep behavior, people. We're done with that cattle thing. Prod you with my spirit stick. Embrace who you are. The collective needs your unique soul. Good. Thank you for that reassurance. Do you see what I mean? They're bits of cardboard that are just telling you stuff you already know. So, like, woo, spooky. Like, yeah, I was like, woo, synchronicity. But that's different. That's excitement that there was a coincidence, because it means that the frequency and the universe are going, yes, Bonnie, you're doing the right thing. Anyway, I'm allowed to digress. Last card, Black Moon Lilith in Virgo. What a gorgeous card. Look at that. It looks like Scotland, and she can see her reflection. But there are hummingbirds, and there's a dude standing there. What's he doing? He might be perfectionism, and she's like, nah, I'm releasing you. So that's been a hard one for me. My mum's a Virgo. I love her dearly. She's also a Taurus rising like me. So we're very similar. Very relatable. But perfectionism is a really hard one to let go of. And it was a big reason why I just jumped into making this channel in a very haphazard, unorganized way, unplanned, unscripted, no makeup. I do have a ring light just because it makes me look a bit less pasty and scary in the dark. But yeah, I'm trying to keep it really authentic because it's never going to be perfect. It's like when people say, like, when's a good time to have a baby? Oh, I'm not ready to have a baby. It's like you'll never really be ready. I mean, Gareth Hudson, the same guy that told me the shaman or yogi path were my two paths I could choose from, in his estimation. He said, you're not meant to have kids in this lifetime. I was like, oh, I know that. Like, I just intuitively, I knew that. I knew that I had to go to Scotland. I just knew. And that's another story. I'm going to have to write a list of stories to tell you all about how I got on this path, because it's all quite miraculous and freaky. In a good way. In a way like the Celestine prophecy. Like, I was led, has anyone read that book? I was led down a path that all started from manifestation and from writing something down and from setting an intention and from doing an introductory course in astrology, paying attention to the planets, spending a lot of time on my own during lockdown, doing a lot of art therapy, music therapy, and basically just transforming my life from a 9-to-5 jail cell, self-imposed, to a free-flowing, I can do whatever the hell I want to be, whatever I want to be, life. And it's not been easy. But to get to this part here, where I'm in a position where I could potentially, hopefully, influence other people in a way that's going to make their life enriched and enhanced, and then they can tell someone about what they learnt from this chick that recommended that guy who knew that thing about that stuff that helped them figure out their ancestral whatever. My job is done. Like, that is my job, and I might do it through my music as well. In fact, I will, because I really want to record my album. But being that it's Mercury retrograde, and I call it Mercury being on Gatorade, because it's like, it's really not on Gatorade at all. Well, it is, because sugar's bad. It's kind of like poisoned. It's like, I'm just going to hang back here a bit because I'm all scattered from the sugar. Gatorade. Yep. Don't drink Gatorade. It's not water. It's sugary water. It's pure cortisol. And they're like, fast, effective rehydration. Sorry, Gatorade, don't sue me. I love Gatorade. It's great. This isn't a sponsored video. I'm going to stop it right there before I get sued by Gatorade or Coca-Cola. If you like sugar, good for you. But it's probably frying your nervous system to heck and causing you great levels of... People know sugar's bad. Just try and limit it. Be aware of it. Drink a shite load. I'm going to swear a little bit. I'm just going to try and stay away from the F word. Shite load of water. Electrolytes without sugar in them. You can get them in like powder form every morning. I get my filtered water and I put a wee bit of electrolytes in 3 bottles, and that's my daily quota. Like, has to be, that's quite a small bottle. It's like 3 750ml bottles. So what's that? 1.5, 2.25 liters a day. They say 2 liters a day, but I'm like, nah, we got plasma to deal with. We gotta, so drink water, be kind to yourself, take notes when you watch stuff, because I find that really helpful for my ADHD brain that just goes, that was so good, but forgets like what was said. But it's gone in there. It's gone into the subconscious. So write it down, and then you can be like, this is my little spiritual journeying investigation book where I'm like a detective who's trying to figure out how to heal myself. It's the most important work you can do, and it's going to heal the collective, and it's going to heal your kids, and it's going to heal your ancestral trauma, and it's going to make the world a much nicer place to live in. And everyone's journey will be different. It is not linear, and I'm no expert. But from what I do know, there needs to be more people that have the balls to just talk openly about it without being scared they're going to get burnt at the stake. Because let's face it, the witch trials were a really long time ago. We need to heal that wound. Okay, guys, that's it from the purple one. All the one, be you, be true. It's all up to you.